Hello. Good evening. It is almost evening, and now there is something I want to share with you about KRA PIN. Now, today is 6th of June 2025, and actually, we have less than uh, uh, 20, 24 days before we get to the deadline of filing our KRA taxes. It is important that if you have PIN, you do the yearly filing. You need to file your KRA PIN. So basically, KRA PIN is the personal identification number that allows you to do transaction with the KRA or any other government agencies. And so many people tend to ignore. Now you find yourself in a situation whereby you apply for KRA PIN, and when you apply for KRA PIN, you after working using it, rather, you place it somewhere and you forget about it. Now, this one might actually bring you into trouble in some days. Sometimes you find a situation whereby you need your KRA PIN, and you may be required to present what we call the TCC, or rather tax compliance certificate. Now, if you've not filed your KRA PIN and then the deadline comes, then you will actually be fined 2,000 shillings. And now, if you are in a situation whereby you are supposed to present a TCC, then you might definitely have to incur some charges. You will have to pay the fine before you are given the tax compliance certificate. So to avoid this, just file your KRA PIN in time. For those who are employed, you need to actually ask your employer to give you a P9 form, whereby you will use it to file your returns. Now, if you don't know how to file your returns, I will present a video after this, so I would suggest that you subscribe so that you are able to learn how to file your KRA returns. Now, what you need to do is basically subscribe and be notified every time that I post a video that is relevant to whatever question you have. Now, for today, I just want to emphasize on the reason why we need to file our KRA returns. And now we are almost nearing the deadline. And if you have a KRA PIN, you have not filed it, it is important that you visit any nearby cyber services or Huduma Center for assistance. Now, filing a P9, for those who are employed and do have P9 form, it might be a little bit tricky, but for those who do not have, or rather those people who are not employed, it is simple. And my next session, I'll be able to show you how you can do it yourself, how you can file your KRA PIN by yourself without actually taking it to a cyber or visiting Huduma Center. Provided that you have a laptop or you have a smartphone, you can do it within 10 seconds or 1 minute if it exceeds. Now, it is very important that you always keep in time. Now, the deadline for filing KRA tax are always on 30th June every year. So, if you are you are not employed, you can actually file nil return anytime from January. You have that period of time. But if you are employed, you need to wait until you are provided with a P9 form so that you can actually file your returns. Now, many people tend to ignore or rather assume about filing returns, but wait until that particular time you are requested to present a TCC. That's when you will know that actually filing returns is very important. Now, when you go to a cyber, you can actually spend not more than 200 shillings to file your returns now because of the cyber charges. But if you visit a Huduma Center, it will be free, provided that you carry your PIN certificate and your ID. One more thing, every time you go, or for those people who have not actually applied for KRA PIN, it is important that you make sure that you know you have a valid email that has got a password. So because more when you are actually applying for a KRA PIN, you will require an email whereby a password will be sent there. Now it is very important when you are filing return, because you will have, in case you have forgotten your KRA PIN password, you will then need to reset it through the original email that was used to apply for KRA PIN. So every time, that's the people get it very rough when you go to file returns and you can't recall the password for the email, okay, that you used to actually apply for that particular KRA PIN, and that's where the problem is. So it is important that you put that into mind. Now, many people who do get themselves into trouble with KRA PIN are mostly students. Now, when you are joining a campus, you may want to actually apply for help loan, and of course, as one requirement, you must have a PIN certificate, KRA PIN certificate. Okay, during the process of application, it has to be there. Now, students do apply for KRA PIN, then after that they keep it under the bed, or they even forget about it. Now, the problem is here. You will be asked one day or one time, you'll be requested to present a TCC. That's when you will realize that if you have had more than 10 years without filing, or 4 or 5 years or 3 years without filing your returns, then you will be requested, actually, for you to actually get a TCC, you must have a tax compliance, you must actually have been clean when it comes to filing returns. And so at that particular time, you'll realize that you have more than 4 years without filing returns. So if you have more than 4 years, for example, that is, each year you will be fined 2,000 shillings. That's 8,000. Remember, you need this TCC so that you can apply for a government position, or it is required somewhere. Okay? Now, you must actually pay for this 8,000 fine, and after duly filing for those years that you had skipped, you have to file so that you are fined according to the years that you have not filed your returns. So after filing, then you will be fined. So you'll have to pay for the fine before you are given a TCC. So why go through all that problem when you can only take less than 10 minutes to file your returns if you have you are not employed? Nil return is very simple, and that's the reason why I'm saying that you should subscribe, so that you will be able to see how you can go about it, filing returns. With nil return, you don't need to actually even to go to the cyber. But even if you go to the cyber, it is less than 10 minutes and you are done, provided that you have a valid email and a password that was used to file the returns. So kindly keep in touch. It is very important that you file your returns before the end of 30th June every year, because the moment we step to 1st of July, a fine enters automatically. So you'll be fined for late filing. So sometimes you don't need even to wait until it is too late, because as you wait, the system sometimes gets more congested and you're unable to file your return. So many Kenyans find themselves in a lot of trouble when it comes to filing returns. And so because they like doing things late, and when you come late, the system might fail you. So it is important, if you are not employed, you can file within from either January to May. You have that particular period of time. But if you are employed, you must wait until you are given a P9 form now for you to file your returns. So kindly subscribe down there, so that I will be able to follow the lessons on how you can actually file your returns and